The TeraFlex Performance Spacer Leveling Kit for the Jeep Gladiator adds 1.5 inches to the top of the front springs. These spacers will level out the front end, add clearance on the trail, and create room for larger tires. The modular design of the spring spacers offers the ability to increase or decrease the spacer height depending on your vehicle's needs. Raise the vehicle in the air and remove the front tires. Disconnect the front sway bar link from the axle and swing the sway bar up out of the way. Remove the bolt connecting the front track bar to the axle. Detach the bracket connecting the brake lines to the front lower control arms. Remove the axle actuator plug by popping out the locking tab and pushing down. Remove or disconnect any plastic retainers. Disconnect the breather hose on the axle. On the Rubicon there is a locker actuator plug that you will also need to disconnect. Loosen, but do not remove the bolts on the control arms. The front upper control arms have a heat shield on the frame end. Move the heat shield out of the way or remove it if you want to. Support the axle and remove the bolts on the lower end of the front shocks. Raise the vehicle or lower the axle until the springs are loose. Be aware of the brake lines, ABS lines, and any other wires. Avoid stretching these as much as possible. Remove the spring and the spring isolator. Install both spacers with the 1/2 inch spacer on top of the 1 inch spacer. There are 2 locating pins on the spring isolator. These fit into corresponding holes on the front spacer. Likewise, the front spacer has 2 locating pins on top, which match with 2 holes on the spring bucket. Reinstall the spring, and be sure the bottom of the spring matches up with the spring index. Install the 1 inch bump stop strike pad extension by sliding it in between the spring coils. Attach it to the spring mount by using the provided tool and hardware. Should you require a taller strike pad, 1/2 inch shims for the bump stop strike pad extensions are available for purchase on the TeraFlex website. Lower the vehicle back down or raise the axle back up into place. The spacer and the spring isolator can fall out of position. Make sure the tabs on the spacers are seated properly. Reconnect the shocks and the brake line brackets. Reconnect the sway bar links. Reconnect the breather hose, axle actuator plug, and any plastic retainers you removed. Return the vehicle to the ground and reconnect the track bar to the axle. Tighten the track bar and control arm bolts only when the vehicle is on the ground.